Do you think if Deegan wraps up the 250 title early, he would consider stepping up to the 450 for the final round? Take it away, RV.
Personally, Ryan, I don't see that happening. I think
Come on, dude. Serious?
I don't see it happening. No, I personally don't see it happening. Okay, so if I'm his dad, or if
lets him do it,
I'm his trainer, or if I'm the team, I would want him to, because he's gonna do, he's got SMX coming up, right? And then we have 2026 Supercross coming up, and it's all around the corner. And it seems like it's a ways away, but it's not. It'll be here before we all know it. And he's got to stay 250 for Supercross, and then we're hearing, or the talk says, he'll go for Pro Motocross 26 for 450. So if I'm his dad, I'm the team owner, I'm the person that's making these decisions. I'm keeping him down and finishing out his 250 outdoor career, is winning as much as he can win, cash as many checks as he can cash, keep him healthy for SMX, and then also for Supercross, to defend his championship for Supercross. That's what I would do. I personally don't see him stepping up. I don't see what the benefit of him stepping up would be. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be, not saying he wouldn't go out and do well, but I think we keep him down. I would keep him down and run out his lights.
Dude, you shocked me. I have a difference of opinion on this one. Overall, Ryan, great question. So I'm a little bit different here, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. Is one of my things that I would have done different. I would have raced the 450 or the premier class in the opposite coast and Supercross. I think that first and foremost, I think that everything that Haiden is doing right now, whether it's preparation during the week, whether it's when he's racing at the races, he needs to be gearing himself, and you probably did it too the last year on 250s. You're prepping yourself for next year. So race simulations during the week, you need to be on Supercross, dude. You need to be doing 20 minutes, right? Not 15 plus one lap. You need everything so you have some insurance and you are ready once you step up. You need to be doing that. Everything you're doing, you're just assuming you're on the 450. So that's what I would, if I was coaching him, that's what we would be working on. I think if he wrapped it up early, I would be in support of that with zero expectation. No, that is the biggest thing. Don't go out there. Yeah. Do you want to go out there and win and kick Jet's ass? Of course you do. We all know he wants to do that. It would be fun to watch, but he can't injure himself. He's got to stay healthy for SMX. This is what I would do. I think it would be fun, and it would give him an idea of the race pace, what it's like. It's just real. There's no simulation about it. So that's what I would do. I think, one race would be enough. And just to kind of get a lay of the land, so he's not going into the 450 Pro Motocross Championship next year blind.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, and that's a good strategy also. That totally is a great strategy. I think
but you said you wouldn't do it.
But it's a great strategy. That's everybody's under their own opinion, right? Like, I just don't know for the big picture of, I guess what I'm looking at is him maximizing his 250 and the dollars and the cents when it comes.
Yeah, but what about what he'll learn if he'll go to the 450?
And he could learn a ton. But he also could end up, on the ground, right? So and then what about SMX, and what about defending? So there's a lot of moving parts to that, and I'm not saying it would be bad. Dunge did it, right? Dunge went up and rode opposite coasts. He did. Dunge rode opposite coasts, filled in, or went up to the 450 class and rode opposite coasts. I think his first round he got 5th in the 450 class from the 250 class. When he was on Suzuki. So it was a benefit to him. Mm-hmm. I don't think personally where I was as a 250 rider, if it would have been a good move for me. I struggled bad my first 12 to 18 months in the 450 class. So I was unprepared and I wasn't ready to move up to just say, hey, we're going to go jump in here. I'm not saying Hayden's that way. He very well is. He's the evolution has made everybody better earlier. And we see that in amateur racing. We see that in the 250 class. So yeah, it very well could be the right move. I don't know.
Hey, Hey, we
Listen,
got
I
to
don't
we got to
crystal
be
ball.
we got to be careful with Ryan Butler, dude. He's from Australia, so he might be on Jet's
Uh,
team. So we got to be careful what we wish for and how we answer that question. I love it. I understand what you're saying. Um, for me, and I don't even know if you knew this. So like, I only raced amateurs on big bikes 1 year, not even a full year,
yep.
basically, right? So, but I raced 125 class and 250 class, so I already had experience riding the bigger bikes.
Yep.
So maybe a little bit different than you did. So yeah, again, he could go out there, hit the deck, and screw up his SMX championship hopes, world championship hopes. So I definitely see that. It's twofold. I think that, again, that's where I go back to. If you go race the 450, dude, you have to have zero expectations. You have to respect the class. The guys are going to be a little bit more difficult to beat. And I think what you will see, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like when you start, I think we've talked about this, you start coming up through the pack. If so, you get a bad start, and those guys like in seventh and sixth and fifth, like they're not scrubs, not to say that anyone else is scrubs, but they're hard to get by,
Yeah.
like they're the
And you
best.
guarantee you they're going to race Haiden harder than they might race that 6th place guy that they race every single weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like if he could manage himself in those situations and not get frustrated, I think that it would be a plus. At least he would know, kind of, he'd have a small taste, but I don't know.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.